Hello and welcome to the 2019 Longines FEI European Jumping Championships from Rotterdam, Netherlands. The nation's second city, Rotterdam also holds the distinction of being Europe's largest port, stretching over a distance of 40 kilometres. But this week it is equestrian action that takes centre stage, with medals in both the individual and team competitions up for grabs. A total of 15 nations, comprising of 4 riders each, are battling it out over 3 days in the team competition. Time accrued on day 1 is converted into penalties, with the second and third rounds taking on a traditional Nations Cup format, with the worst score discarded. The team with the lowest overall score will follow defending champions Ireland as the next winners of this biannual competition. Cian O'Connor and Shane Sweetman both return as members of the Irish quartet, and chef d'equipe Rodrigo Pessoa is hopeful his team can emulate their success in 2017.
We have the 4 ride horses and that they are in good shape to go, but we also are very respectful of the opponents against who we're going this week. And if we're good enough to fight for a medal, so be it. We've had a lot of individual success, in the last couple of years, and very fortunate to be, to win the Europeans 2 years ago. But it's now where we really need to turn up this week. I think that these are all experienced riders, and they are very proud to ride for Ireland every time, and especially now at a European Championship. I think that they're really looking forward to it.
Switzerland have a superb record in this competition. The 4-time champions have taken bronze in the last 2 editions and come here in confident mood after topping the Nations Cup qualification standings.
All the guys who are here contributed to this first success, and they are now self-confident. We know what they can do, and we are looking forward positively. And what I really like in this team, they all 4 are super riders. Steve and Martin are very important to the team. They are number 1 and 4 in the world, very experienced, even if they are still young. And then we have 2 older guys in the team, also very experienced, which both have done everything to be here in the team. And now we hope the best for us.
The opening day of action saw all 15 teams taking part in the speed class, with time taken being carried over into the 2 official days of the team competition. And it was the all-star German quartet who set the standard, a stellar lineup boasting defending world champion Simone Blum, as well as former World Cup winners Daniel Deusser, Christian Ahlmann and Marcus Ehning proved a class apart. A flawless display of top-class jumping resulted in all 4 riders going clear, with their combined time being converted into a total of 4.22 penalties.
He stops the clock in 73.38. That was a brilliant round from the former world number 1, Marcus Ehning.
Yeah, it was fantastic, all 4 yesterday, but it's a new day, and we know we had a good start, but still for the team 2 big rounds to go. The sport yesterday was amazing, and it's so close, and it will happen a lot today, and we will have some changes.
France are snapping at Germany's heels in second place, while 2017 champion Peder Fredriksson took an early lead in the individual standings to help Sweden into third place moving into the second day.
Watch the clock. Are we going to have a new leader? Yes, we are. 70.25. The defending gold medalist from 2 years ago, Peder Fredriksson and HMM all in go into the lead here in Rotterdam.
I think we had a really good run yesterday. We were better yesterday than the opening competition the other 2 years, which is very important for me. I think today is a tough track. It's a long track, and really will show who have the best control in the end, and the strength and the power in the horses to jump all the way through. So it will be a very exciting day, and I think there will be a few different. It will be a different result list today than yesterday.
Confirmation that Germany hold an advantage after the speed class, but it's tight at the top. 3 clear rounds from France has them in contention, while Sweden, Great Britain and Switzerland round out the top 5. Holders Ireland lie 6th after day 1. The second day saw all 15 teams in action, but that number would be whittled down to a final top 10 who would then move forward to the decisive third round on Friday. With the Nations Cup format discarding the worst round, final places would prove hard to predict, and we join commentators Phil Gazala and Victoria Gullikson with Gregory Wathelet of Belgium in the arena.
A crucial round for Belgium. Gregory Wathelet with MJT Nevados S, 11-year-old stallion by Zangazida bred Calvados. And this round, Belgium currently in second place on 11.07.
He's used to ride under pressure, and he's an unbelievable rider, Gregory. And hope we can have a clear round now today for Belgium. Definitely did not have waterfall.
I was going to say, he meant that.
I think that was the longest water jump today.
This is a crucial round for Belgium, bidding to win their first ever team medal for the European Championships, and that's exactly what Belgium required. That is 3 clears for Belgium. Clear for Gregory Wathelet, MJT Nevados S. That means Belgium stay on their overnight score of 11.07 penalties.
And that round proved enough to propel Belgium up from 8th place to the very top of the standings as the only team to record 3 clears. Overnight leaders Germany slipped to 2nd place as Marcus Ehning and Christian Ahlmann both scored 8 faults, while Great Britain moved up a position to 3rd thanks to clears from Holly Smith and Ben Maher. So it's all changed at the top of the standings. Belgium now in pole position to win the title for the first time in their history. Their score of 11.07 remained unchanged as all their rivals suffered setbacks. Germany and Great Britain fill the podium spots, followed by France and Sweden. But it's bad news for Portugal, Spain, Norway, Israel and Austria, who've all been eliminated.
The boys were doing a great job, and also the horses were jumping brilliant. So we got a little bit step forward from yesterday, so we are very, very happy. The Nations Cup is more tough than the speed class, and still tomorrow is another day to come, which will be also very difficult. We could see today how much changed, but we are really looking forward to fight tomorrow again.
On to the decisive final day as 10 nations took to the Rotterdam arena in the hope of becoming Longines FEI Jumping European Champions for 2019. Without further ado, let's return to our commentators Phil Gazala and Alistair Bainey-Clorot for the course plan animation.
It starts with an orange oxer with horizontal stripes away from home, quite a long way, 10 or 11 strides to a vertical, very tall, 1.60 m. Then they go through a very narrow gap, narrower than the graphic shows, to get around a corner to quite a massive oxer, and then a very short 4 to a offset liver pull, and then a bit of a wide 7 strides to an oxer-oxer vertical combination. The middle oxer is not as wide as the first one, but it is at least a hole higher. They have quite a short turn back to very, very, very tall Longines vertical. Dog leg, quiet 6, big oxer, and then quite a straightforward 6 to a very tall vertical. Around the island again, and then to a triple bar, and a pleasantly quiet 5 to a vertical oxer combination. It's actually a desirably quiet distance coming into that. And now an oxer set in the corner going into the stands with a Liverpool under it. And here's the only choice, where you could do 7 or you could do 8 to a massive, tall, delicate plank, and then a nice 5 home. So you could do 7 if you think your horse has the quality to jump that vertical, or you could do 8 if you think you have the time to do it.
There is the man responsible for building the courses here in Rotterdam, Louis Konix, and what a fantastic job he has done. Former Olympic bronze medalist from the London Games, Cian O'Connor, with his 9-year-old PSG final.
Yeah, Cian didn't have the best of days yesterday, so Ireland has got an uphill battle for their qualification. This is a super talented horse, and I know Cian will get together. It's a relatively new partnership. If I can see correctly, I believe there's been a bit change between yesterday and today. Which I suspected there was a bit of a connection problem yesterday. I didn't get a chance to catch up with him to find out what he was going to do about that, but it's looking quite good now.
Very observant of you, Alice.
As a rider, I notice those things, Phil. You know, your connection with the horse's mouth is absolutely critical, really. And when you have a newish horse, you're always playing with those things. Look, and you don't really know what kind of connection you want with them until you're in it. 2, 3, 4. He stayed inside track 7. Easy.
This is a very different round than we've seen the last couple of days, and that's exactly what Cian O'Connor expected from this 9-year-old. That's the clear he was looking for. So Cian O'Connor, PSG final for Ireland, go clear. Ireland, who started on 30.36 penalties here on day 3. Off the pace behind Belgium's 11.07, but that is a great start on day 3 for the defending champions from 2 years ago, Ireland.
Well, Penelope is just one of the best female or any gender riders in the world. France has been counting on her for years. She has new owners now. She's developed her string after losing an owner, where Nicolas Delmotte is now riding for that owner, and Penelope is she's truly amazing. I know she jumped a clear yesterday and won down the first day.
She had clear on the first day and 2 down yesterday.
2 down yesterday. So I was on my way flying here, so I didn't get to watch the whole class.
France, who slipped from silver medal position to
Kevin
4th
Stout.
position yesterday lunchtime.
She looks good on her time. I've got great hopes for France, being that is where I live.
This is very good indeed from Penelope Leprevaux. That's a superb round. Well, that keeps the hopes of France very much alive here in Rotterdam. That's a clear from Penelope Leprevaux and Vancouver de Lanlour for France. France on 17.39 penalties coming into today's competition. 11.07 the Belgium score coming into today. For Great Britain, who have pushed themselves into the bronze medal position here on the Friday of the European Championships, Ben Maher with Explosion W. Ben Maher, who also heads the individual medal position. All the scores for the rounds concurrently added together.
Well, I'm in agreement with you that this is one of the most exciting horses to watch. I think Ben is just a phenomenal rider, and I think everyone's lucky to ride a great horse, but I think this horse is also very lucky to have Ben sitting on him.
And that penalty on the graphic on the screen, 0.62, that's his position as number 1 in the individual title. But lots of jumping to be had for that. That concludes on Sunday afternoon with 2 rounds.
Lucky rub at B. Oh. So much pressure for England for their qualification also. Oh. It's looking good to me, Phil.
Looking absolutely superb for Great Britain as Ben Maher close to the option, still clear.
He does the 8. He's got plenty of time to do that.
This horse doesn't want to get near a fence.
Oh, Ben.
Clears the last. Absolutely beautiful time. Ben Maher flicks his eyes up to the screen to check he's inside that 78 seconds, which he is. That is a clear for Great Britain. That is exactly what Great Britain needed. Of course, they've been in the doldrums for the last couple of years. They had a brilliant result at the Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup in Dublin 3 weeks ago, where they took the maximum 100 points in Europe Division 1. Now we move to the reigning world champion for Germany. Took the gold medal at the World Equestrian Games last September, Simone Blum, with the wonderful DSP Alice.
She just had a rub at fence 1, a pretty hard one. So, but I must say, Phil, if I had my wish to ever ride any horse in the world, this would be my wish, and I'm not alone.
Because she has the same name as you.
No, not
Alice.
just because her name is Alice, but you know, Alice works. Oh my God, no one would have expected that. I'd like to see if there was anything the rider could have done about that. The camera was coming straight at us. Whoa, she overrode that. Let's not forget that Simone is actually still a young rider. I think she's only 28 or 29, and already world champion.
World champion coming into the penultimate fence. Got the 4 on the board. That was a good round from Simone Blum, but she does have that 4 to add. She was 6th as an individual coming into this competition, and that will slip her down the leaderboard. Probably, I say, because, of course, we've got the other individuals to jump, but perhaps an expensive fault for the individuals. But for Germany, that's a 4 added. Simone Blum, DSP Alice. Belgium moved into the number 1 spot, rising from 8th place after Wednesday. And one of the men that was responsible for that dramatic rise up the leaderboard was this man. One of 3 clears yesterday for Belgium, Pieter Devos with Claire Z. Gregory Wathelet, who'll be coming in later, he took individual silver in 2015 in Aachen. Looking for their first ever team medal in the gold medal position with their first rider in the arena.
It's not surprising. I mean, they have, you know, Jos Verlooy had a super clear yesterday. So happy for him and his dad Axel, and looking quite good. gonna have to keep his turns a little bit neat. It's not the fastest horse across the air.
I was just thinking that.
Were you?
Bearing them 78 seconds time allowed, but the last couple of
He's gonna have
top
to just
riders
open
have
it up
couple
here
of
a little
seconds.
bit. Move it along. See, he's almost hopping over that tree in the island just to cut. He doesn't want to kick it open. He just needs to keep it tight because he doesn't want to make his horse excited or flat, especially coming into that double. Go, turn a little neat here. He's keeping it neat there. He's setting up for 8. He's going to be close.
Oh, it's gone. The plank's just a late faller there. And he does get a time penalty. So Pieter Devos, beautiful clear yesterday, 1 down, 1 time penalty, and that's just showing you that 1.60 meter plank that fell to the ground. Pieter Devos, Claire Z, 5 in total with the time penalty for Belgium. Now for France, sitting as an individual in 14th place, Nicolas Delmotte with Avezo du Roc.
Well, Nicolas has a tremendous amount of pressure on him as for their Olympic qualification. And he's a super rider and cool as a cucumber. I'm very much hoping for France, but of course it's my home country. My husband and my 3 children are all French. Wow, you see him go to behind the saddle? Oh my God, I need to see that again. It's funny, very few horses are hanging up in that combination, but the few that do are hanging up a little bit like Julia Martinet. Sorry to say her last name a little awkwardly. Yeah. Sort of, sometimes horses see 2 oxers in a row and they hold their breath and hang up. France did not need that fault.
No, like the fault from Sweden, from Marlin Benio Johnson.
He does the 7 to the plank.
France, who had a clear from Penelope. So coming in on 4, he's got inside that 78 seconds of time allowed, but he does have the 4. 10.36 himself, Nicolas Delmotte, dropping down the leaderboard in the individual at the moment. Puts France on the best possible score of their 17.39 if they discard the Nicolas Delmotte because of the clear from Penelope Leprevoux, Kevin Stout, Alexis Derby to come. This is Christian Ahlmann, pivotal round for Germany with Clintrexo Z.
Okay.
Well, we've seen that happen a few times and not get away with it, some others.
That's true. This is quite an important round for Germany, considering that Alice and Simone had a very uncharacteristic 1 down. His horse is flirting with trying to have a fault, but I know Christian Ahlmann, he's not going to let him.
The crowds here know it. You can hear them going, ooh.
I think this, if he gets through this, I think he's clear. He's trying to, this horse is really trying to lay on them a little bit. I think Christian's going to help pick him up and put him on the other side. He's been in this situation many, many, many times. He's going to pick him up, put him on the other side.
Super round from the former world number 1. Look at that, 0.8 of a second inside the time. He goes clear. Germany very much needed that. Christian Ahlmann, Clintrexo Z goes clear for Germany. They were the discard score yesterday, but now they have seriously kept Germany in contention and the screws being tightened on Belgium. Super clear yesterday from these two. They're 5th in the individual rankings. Belgium in #1 spot. Verlooy, Igor for Belgium.
It's another one that already hit #1 a bit. You know, that #1 is a really square oxer, not so small. Sometimes #1 can be an easier jump. And boy, they have a lot of pressure on them. And this is a still rather young rider.
Well, I was just going to say, this man is just 24 years old, but the amount of times we've seen him riding at this level, you'd think he was a lot older than that.
There's his dad, Axel. He's got Harry Smolders also as part of his training, and this is really a big moment for Belgium if he could jump clear. It's a horse by the great Emerald.
Jumped clear on both days.
This double's taken out quite a few people. Amazing. Okay, I actually have.
This is a huge moment
Oh my
for
God, his
Belgium.
dad could almost.
Super. Belgium. Verlooy.
He does the 8 up.
Just the last. Will this keep Belgium in the #1 spot? Yes, it does. That is a superb round from the 24-year-old. He hasn't touched defence or hasn't knocked defence down in 3 days of jumping. He came into this in the 5th place in the individual rankings. He's sure to move up, but from that, he's now gone into 2nd spot behind Ben Maher. But more importantly, today, he has kept Belgium as a team in the #1 spot. Will today in Rotterdam be the first time ever that Belgium win a team medal in the European Championships for Great Britain? Holly Smith with the 10-year-old gelding Heart's Destiny. Pivotal round for Great Britain in the team medal position, coming into today in bronze medal, clear from Ben Maher, has got them off to a great start.
Well, Di Lampard has really made some great choices. You know, winning they won Dublin, right?
They won Dublin,
Yeah.
the Nations Cup, last leg.
And of course, Ben Maher's clear really puts a lot of hope and optimism into his teammates, which really, I would say, lifts the sails a bit of the other riders. And it definitely gives a bit of a great motivation to go in and try to nail it. She's doing a super job so far. This double is absolutely critical. Wow, good.
Laura Rennick there in the stands, rider #5 for the team, the reserve. Just the 4, just the oxer, and clear. 1.5 seconds inside the time. Ben Maher there on the right, he's in the clubhouse, finished his duty, as Holly Smith has now done the same. So that just adds 4 to her personal score, but the team can discard that with Amanda Derbyshire and Scott Brash to come for Great Britain. Former world #1, Olympic champion Kevin Stout, Quel, Faut, 10-year-old gelding by Cassel. Couple of fences down yesterday.
Well, they need him to be clear
They
so
need,
desperately.
without a doubt, they need, with a 4 from Nicolas Delmotte already on the board. 4 riders, best 3 scores count.
Oh, okay. It's funny how some horses reacted that way, just kind of chopping down in front, a bit like Chardonnay did with Max Kuhner. They've had it down in very different ways.
The gap between the top three teams and the next 2 is widening. Still a battle for the medals at the front of the leaderboard.
There's Penelope and Nicola Delmotte up there. Oh, they really cannot afford another one down.
And just similar round to Fredrik Jonsson of Sweden. So that was Kevin Stout for France with Kalevo 2, the 4. And like Fredrik Jonsson's 4, then has to be counted in the team score. For Great Britain, absolutely crucial round. Amanda Derbyshire, Luibanta, BH.
I don't know Amanda. She's, you know, relatively young, but I have to say I'm very, very, very impressed with her riding. She had a great clear the first day. I know she had something down yesterday.
Well, that, again, has to count.
Yeah, this one's brushing his way a little bit around this course. She's going to have to hold it together.
Great Britain now on a best possible score of 17.41. That still keeps them in the 3rd position at the moment. Keeps them in bronze with Scott Brash still to come.
I have to ride this combination really accurately to help this horse because he's getting a little bit low with his belly. She did a great job. Does 8 strides here.
And she completes on the 4. So the last 3 rounds for the 3 contestants here at third line ride has been very similar, as Amanda Derbyshire for Great Britain completes on 4 with Luibanta BH. Great Britain now best possible score 17.41, which still keeps them in the bronze medal slot at the moment. Let's focus on the European medals, and this man's already won 7 of those. Marcus Ehning, former world number 1, Comme Ilfoy for Germany. Did he just rattle that first?
He did rattle number 1, back rail with his front legs. He came a little bit packed in, I guess, and but those kind of rubs with horses like this can actually, and if you get away with it, can actually work to your advantage for the rest of the course.
Well, how many times has this great man been in this position with a team? Germany, who've won more European medals than any other since the team medal started in 1975. 16 Germany have won.
It's looking way under the time, so if he needs to take a little time somewhere, he could. But this horse really likes to gallop on. This horse happens to be the sire of my 7-year-old. One of the best horses I've ever had. I'm very, very curious to watch him.
Look at that.
Oh, wow.
The tension in the kiss and cry today is absolutely fantastic. I'm loving it. Ooh, got away with that. Sounded very loud indeed. Down to the last 2. Can the former world number 1, former European champion, he jumps the last, he's got plenty of time, he's gone clear. Marcus Ehning keeps Germany in the hunt, very much in the hunt here. 2 clears from Germany, Christian Ahlmann and Marcus Ehning. Daniel Deusser to come. Look at the strength of Germany. Germany will have a silver or better. Jérome Guery for Belgium, Quel, Homme, Deusser. Pivotal, critical round of jumping for Belgium.
I'm a big fan of Jérome Guery's, and I did not get to see his horse jump the last 2 days because I was flying yesterday, but I know there's so much hope behind him for Belgium.
A clear from Jérome Guery will keep Belgium in, will keep them in a definite medal position, which will be the first team medal they have ever won at a European Championships.
Jérome actually got into a very awkward situation to that vertical. You'd even call it a miss, in fact, but he got away with it, and it actually made the next oxer easier to ride. So sometimes, go Jérome. He's good on time, I think. No.
That is a superb round. He doesn't need to worry because Belgium, they have won their first ever team medal at a Longines FEI Jumping European Championships. That was a superb round from Jérome, Guery and Homme de Haas. Belgium, best possible score for them, 12.07 is confirmed on the board there, and so basically there's still a battle for the gold, but we do know that Germany and Belgium fill the first two spots. Now the last of the quartet for Ireland. Dara Kenny, Baloo the Renton. Dara Kenny, who's in 12th in the individual scores coming into today.
It'd be so nice for Ireland to finish with a clean slate today, which they are very much in reach of doing.
I'm just sitting here trying to work out the split of the fractions between Great Britain and France is awesome.
I don't know what he could do about that. He got in there quiet. He turned himself inside out behind to jump A, and the horse just, I'll blame the horse for that one.
And just the 4 to add. So 2 clears, 2 4 faults for Team Ireland, the defending the gold medal, which they've now been knocked off that top position. But Dara Kenny and Baloo the Reventon, 4 faults for Ireland. Ireland complete on 34.36, just adding the 4 faults to their overnight score. The world #1 for Switzerland. Former Olympic champion in the 2nd spot coming into this competition in the individual championship. Steve Gerdat, Alba Flames Bianca for Switzerland.
Well, I'm always happy when Steve wins because I just think he's unbelievable in every way as a rider, and he and Bianca are such an exciting pair to watch, and she's been jumping super this week, and wow, oh my God, she hung up at B. I would not have seen that coming, Phil. You know, some of the horses, when they see oxer, especially if they're very experienced like she is, sometimes they get impressed by it. And I've seen a few horses do that. Even though it's not a very wide oxer, they start backing up like a bit impressed by it. Ah.
And just the 1 down, but another super round from that lovely mare, Alba Frames Bianca. Steve Gerdat completes on 4. It's been fought 3 very good rounds. They had retirements with Paul Esterman, Switzerland, but they've had a one-time penalty, a clear from Martin Fuchs, and just the 4 from Steve Gerdat and Alba Frains Bianca. So Switzerland complete on 31.83, currently in 6th place. Peder Fredriksson, world number 2 on H&M All-In. What a partnership. They slipped down from overnight leaders after Wednesday in the individual competition into 8th coming into today. Peder Fredriksson, H&M All-In, needs no introduction in terms of a Swedish team competitor. Olympic silver, World Equestrian Games silver. Well, it's not Peder's weekend, is it?
Similar fault that he had yesterday, you know, going into a left turn, cut left a little bit and, you know, flattened out behind. It certainly opens the door for Ben Maher a bit more, would you say?
Another great round. Yes, the one fence down. Well, Sweden came here to defend Team Silver from 2 years ago. They won't be getting that position. But Peder Fredriksson, who took the individual gold 2 years ago, is in the hunt. He's in 7th at the moment. Is in the hunt going into Sunday to be on the podium and defend that gold medal from Gothenburg 2 years ago. And now we move in to the fractions for the bronze medal. France with a clear complete on 21.39, and Great Britain with a clear would finish on 17.41 with one down, 21.41. This is very, very close for the bronze. Alexis Derbyshire with Team Belgium for France. A clear is vital.
What a huge moment for a young rider.
And what a performance. He's hadn't knocked a fence down in 2 days of jumping. Team Belgium, 12-year-old gelding. Oh, that's gone. Great Britain take bronze.
Oh. Wow, what a shame.
1 down, 4 faults for Alexis Derbyshire. Team Belgium for France, but leaves France in the 4th place on 25.39. They've got their Olympic qualification. They've missed out on a European medal here in Rotterdam. We now get to the top 3, and Great Britain, their worst possible score is 21.41, and France on 25.39 means that Great Britain are confirmed the bronze medal here in Rotterdam. And of course, going into Sunday, they have the man Ben Maher, who's in the number 1 spot for the individual as well. For Great Britain, Scott Brash with Hello Milady. Scott Brash is an individual in the 26th spot.
Well, it must take a lot of pressure off Scott, knowing that they have a medal already and their qualification all in the bag. So now he can relax just a hair, would you say, and just ride as an individual. Oh, this horse just cut left. I think he might have hit the standard with his foot. I want to see the replay of that, see if it was Scott's foot or the horse that actually knocked that down.
So Great Britain in the bronze at the moment. 21.41 will be their final score, irrespective of Scott Brash's completion.
Is that going to take Scott out of the individual?
I think it will.
Well, you can see the disappointment in his face right now. I mean, okay, he's happy he won a medal, but
and Scott Brash completes inside the time, but another slightly disappointing day for Scott Brash, the anchor rider for Great Britain over the last couple of days. Finishes on 8 faults, so that will be the discard score with Helen Milady, which leaves Great Britain on a total of 21.41 in the bronze medal position. Great Britain cannot move up the rankings because the best possible score for Germany, counting the faults, have already got 16.22, and it's 17.07 for Belgium.
The last to go for Germany to apply the pressure towards the top. It is with Scuderia Tobago's head, Daniel Deusser.
if he's clear,
If Daniel Deusser goes clear,
they win, right?
Germany are on 12.22.
I'll watch the round while you scribble the math there.
And Belgium are on 12.07. But that's reliant on Gregory Wathelet going clear. This battle for gold is absolutely fever pitch here in Rotterdam. If he knocks one down, Otto Becker, former champion himself, chef to keep, can't cope.
And I'm sure Stefan at StefX has got his heart in his throat as well. The owner of the horse. You could see Daniel even take a deep breath before he took it. He can't afford a time fault either, can he, Phil?
That's gone. That looked some...
There's Stefan. He's under the time.
Well, the former world #1 completes with the one fence down, 4 faults for Daniel Deusser. Scuderia 1918, Tobago Z. World #3 finishes in 6th place in the individual competition, and Germany complete on 16.22. Now the crucial round for gold here in Rotterdam. Gregory Wathelet for Belgium with MJT Nevados S.
Can he afford just a time fault? Or he needs a clear or one time fault to win? It's so tight that it's down to the... Oh, what a rider.
He can afford one fence down.
One fence down. Wow. It's comforting.
If he has one fence down and one time penalty, they lose gold.
Okay. I think he's trying to stay under the time so that he has that little bit of extra.
This bearing in mind, Belgium have never ever won a team medal, so they won one of those. Look at the tension. That was brilliant in the kiss and cry.
2 jumps left, my God.
This is unbelievable here in Rotterdam. The Longines upright, he gets over it. It's just the Oxer. He flies it. They've got it. That is tremendous. That's history. That's Belgium. Well, what a fantastic moment here in the sport of jumping as Belgium take gold here in Rotterdam. The first ever team medal Belgium have won in the Longines FEI European Championships. for jumping, and that was absolutely copybook. That just shows you what this sport is all about. Belgium not only have taken their first ever team medal, and it's a gold one at the Longines FEI Jumping European Championship, but they also are on their way to Tokyo, to the Olympic Games, as are Great Britain. They've got a ticket to Tokyo as well as a European bronze medal, and Germany got the silver. They are, of course, already qualified, as are Sweden, for the World Equestrian Games. So France, who complete here in 4th place, get their ticket to the Olympic Games.
We have a young team, and all the experience is there now, and we put the cherry on the cake today, and I think it's just amazing also for our country. We are such a horse country, which actually really deserves one time a medal, and that's what we have today. And yeah, it's just amazing that we can do this with this team. We have a super team, and horses have been jumping super, and super atmosphere we have. We're all friends together, and it's just amazing that you can win that than the European Championship.
I'm really happy with the silver medal. Like yesterday, I have the feeling I gave it away. One down less, and we would be in a much better position. But at the end, it was a hard fight until the last jump, and we can be happy with the silver medal.
So it's congratulations to Belgium, the 2018 Nations Cup champions and now European champions for the first time in their history after a superb final 2 rounds of jumping. The team competition might now be over, but attention quickly turns to the individual prize with more top quality jumping still to come. Until then, from all of us here in Rotterdam, it's goodbye for now.